Congruency is all about making the decisions that will create your well-being. But then holidays are all about joining the spirit of the group. And our contemporary way to celebrate holidays also involves taking care of a lot of people. Maybe you will be holding little hands as you push your way through holidays. I invited my dear friend, Courtney Harris from Courtney Harris Coaching, to chat a little bit about how you can create congruency, how you can provide yourself with well-being. At the same time, you take care of your kids during these holidays. Join us for this holiday special episode of Conversations on Congruency. Welcome to a new episode of Conversations on Congruency, and we have a holiday special today. I am Tanya Gerard, your congruency coach, and I empower you through your transitions so you can understand your experiences, integrate them in the story of your life, and create a life on your own terms, full of joy and peace. And I have a very special guest today. She is my dear friend and colleague, Courtney Harris from Courtney Harris Coaching. And Courtney is my go-to expert regarding my girls because, we live outside of the lines. We have a life that we create for ourselves, but while we are there trying to destroy the Death Star and doing all these awesome things, we still need to fix the snack for kids and put them to bed and take them to school. So Kearney has been a great resource. Courtney, thank you so much for accepting this invitation and for being here in our holiday special.
Thank you, Tanya. I love the work that you're doing, and it really, really resonates and speaks with me. So thank you for having me as a guest.
Thank you, Courtney. So Courtney, as you know, congruency is all about making choices that make sense to you. Like, it doesn't matter what people say or what people will think. It's just what you want, what you need, and make the choices that will provide you with that well-being. And the thing with holidays, besides being not their favorite time of year for some people, they're always very challenging. Even if you actually enjoy them, they're challenging. There are a lot of stuff, a lot of things going on. So I wanted to, first of all, I would like your opinion. What would you tell the parents that are going through a tough time during these holidays? Maybe they're dealing with personal transitions. Maybe, they're dealing with a lot of stuff, and their main reason to cheer up in the holidays are their kids. What would you tell them to take care of themselves while they go through this?
Yes, this is a big question because not only do the holidays just bring all of it's like this condensed period of doing so much and doing too much often in a very short period of time, and parents are managing themselves and their own energy while also caring for their children. So it's so much, so many dynamics. And what I think I keep coming back to is the word boundaries. And what this means is, for me, when a parent decides that something is a no, if they're going to say no to a commitment, or they choose that there's an event that they're really not feeling will serve them and serve their energy, the no is acceptable. The no is okay, and they have permission. They don't need permission from anybody else. And we're here to say that, that parents do have their own right and their permission for and from themselves to say no and to hold boundaries that they know are in their best interest. And so this gets complicated when there are maybe kids in the home that are making requests, or even when parents just take on the pressure themselves that they think it's important for them to perform in certain ways and to take their children to certain events. We see so much on social media, and we see so much in the movies, and just ways that we think we have to be. But truly modeling boundaries is an important thing to be teaching our children. So saying no or making intentional decisions to not attend something is actually really a big yes to something else. And so I just would like to share with parents that remember that idea that when you set boundaries, when you say no, that you really are saying yes, and hold that in your mind of what you're saying yes to. And Tanya, you mentioned the words peace, and I think peace and joy in what you help people create. And much the same, I work with families on creating peace and ease. And so if you hold those in your mind and you know that a no to an invitation to go somewhere or to do some event is a yes to greater peace or joy in your life with your family, hold that and know that.
That is a beautiful idea. Yes. Like always know your why
Mm-hmm.
and keep it in mind.
Yes.
And
yes.
even sometimes I even suggest my clients to use that as the answer. Like, why are you not coming to the party? You know what? Because I need some peace tonight.
Yes.
Or
yes.
I need to keep things simple with my kids. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, that is a great idea. I love it. Keep saying no is a big yes to something else.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Such
Yes.
a great mantra. Thank you, Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I know you work with a wide range of ages.
Mm-hmm.
I know you specialize in teens as a child-centered coach, but I also know that you work with kids from first grade to 12th grade. You have actually worked with my girls who are just starting their school age. So in this wide range of children, of parenting these children, what few ideas could you share with us on how parents can share the responsibilities, they share the load during these holidays, or even checking with themselves just to make sure they are doing this in an approach of well-being and not having a harder time?
Yes. Yeah, this is also, I mean, these are great questions because the energy around us can be so frenetic and so chaotic that sometimes we can just be propelled into the cycle and maybe start operating just on what we see around us or what we feel is expected. So this idea of checking in is very, very valuable, not just in the holidays but throughout life. But again, we are specifically thinking of how the holidays can be this condensed, stressful, chaotic time. And so the top suggestion, the top idea that comes to my mind is what I just call stop, breathe, feel. And these are literally 3 words. I have them right here on my computer, actually, on a Post-it note. Stop, breathe, feel. It's all ragged. Yes. And I put this on my mirror in my bathroom. I place this note different places because I really have to remind myself to take breaks, to just stop, take a few breaths and see what I feel. Feel can be just observe what you sense in your body. Do you notice anything happening in your chest or your belly? Those are the top 2 places I really invite my clients to look because we often hold tension or stress in those 2 places. But as we do this practice more and more, you start to even feel more subtle sensations. And even as you feel, you might have a name. It might be, I feel angry, or it might be, I feel anxious, and it might be, I feel excited. And so doing this practice helps us actually step into the place of empowerment with our yeses and our nos, or our nos that mean yeses, all of those. So it's really, if we can say that something feels stressful, then that helps us make that intentional choice. But again, if something feels joyful or exciting and we can name that, it also helps us to say yes, or to stay present with that. So the first one definitely is the stop, breathe, and feel. And I do say shamelessly post this anywhere in your house, Post-it notes. Remind yourself as many places and times as you need to. Another idea that has come up, and this is something I use whenever I'm preparing for travel. I tend to get quite anxious, and I'm a perfectionist in times, like when I'm traveling, I want the house to be immaculately clean, the notes for the cat sitter in just the right spot, and everything, that I need packed. And it can really wear me out. So my strategy for pre-travel is setting timers. So I choose a time between usually 20 or 30 minutes to do my packing, and that's all. And I use the same timer for various things. Like I could sit and maybe writing holiday cards. It might take me 6 hours, but if I set a timer and I do 30 minutes at a time and then get up to do something else, that can be much more manageable for me. So I know for some people, timers can cause actually more anxiety, or I've had people tell me it actually spikes their ADHD. So if that doesn't sound good to you, definitely don't try it. But you start to know yourself and notice if maybe there is a way that you're being inefficient or overly anxious, so that you cannot produce the task you actually need to do, and a timer may keep you on track. So for me, that's the case. And then my third suggestion is to share responsibilities. And the way that I invite families to do this is I share with parents the idea of brainstorming anything and everything that you think you have to do. For example, if you celebrate Christmas, on the day of Christmas, what is the list of tasks that you have to accomplish? And then you do this ahead of time, if you can, a couple of days ahead. Then sit down with your family and let each person choose a couple of the tasks that they can either take over or will assist with. And of course, you check in with what's age appropriate for your children. And also, this is an opportunity to give your children empowerment and choice. So while as the parent you are saying, yes, you will co-create and you will share in this process, they still get to choose how they are doing that. And so I really invite parents to make this list and don't leave anything off, even if it's silly things that, but they're in your mind and you have to do it. It's okay. Put it on the list. Mm-hmm. So in a way, emptying your mind, first of all, is a step. And then second of all, sharing the responsibility with family and letting different family members take their part can be very, very helpful.
Yes, and I know my girls are very, very young, but I see how flattered they feel when I ask them to do something. And we, like, as humans, we need to have a purpose. Yes. So I think even if it takes you longer, because it might, but even if it takes you longer, or you just we're so used to be responsible for everybody.
Yes.
That we are missing the chance to teach our kids to be responsible for themselves, which is a huge part of congruency too, because it is about making choices and sticking to them, seeing them through and knowing that you made the best possible choice. And kids need the chance to learn how to choose.
Yes.
So yes. These 3 ideas are awesome. I love the stop, breathe, and feel. I absolutely practice it. And it's very related with this whole idea of connecting with your needs, so you can understand what's going on and how can you address them. The timer solution, I love it. I Pomodoro my way through life, honestly. That's pretty much how I get in my entrepreneurial life, in my personal life, everything. But yes, you're very conscious, and you know that some people might get anxious or just very nervous about it. So the least solution is a very practical way to approach this. And I love this too: empowerment and choice for our kids, for ourselves.
Yes.
For our family members, for our parents, our parents, for our spouses, for our friends, whatever relationship we're in. We empower people by offering them choices and by respecting those choices.
Yes, it's so important, because I know there's so many times that we think, oh, it's easier if I do it. And this is with any kind of partnership, whether it be an intimate partner, it be a friendship, it be a child-parent relationship. sometimes we feel like it's easier, like, I know how I want it to be done. I can just do this. So we think it's faster and easier to take care of something on our own. But we really miss out on that element of connecting. And also we don't give that other person in our life an opportunity to step into their own power. And so, yes, it is kind of this delicate balance of sharing power, but it ultimately gives everybody greater peace and a greater sense of contributing and creating the family experience together.
Yes, I agree. And that is what holidays are all about.
Mm-hmm.
Rituals, human rituals,
Yes.
are about creating a measure of our pace through life.
Yes.
And that is a group effort, right?
It's so true.
Not do it
So
by
true.
ourselves. So just to wrap up a little bit before I ask you about your program, because I know it's awesome and super interesting. So just to wrap up, Courtney Harris from Courtney Harris Coaching, our guest today, is sharing with us some ideas on how you can connect with your feelings, how you can make sure you are okay as you parent your way through the holidays from a place of consciousness and well-being. And she suggested stop breathing and feeling. She suggested using a timer to limit yourself the time you dedicate to something, or the time. This is something I just thought. I'm sorry. I just remember because this was very funny. A dear client she just agonizes over a certain thing that's going on in her life. So she's starting to time her agonizing timer. Like she said, we started by setting 10 minutes and she could only agonize for 10 minutes, but she had to do it for 10 minutes. And then we're just stepping, and we are getting closer to 1 minute now. So
wow.
It's that same thing. Like if you're a perfectionist and you need to have the perfect gift wrapping, give yourself 10 minutes to do that.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes. And I think you're right that over time you start to get used to it. I mean, when I first said 20 minutes for packing, I could not do it. Or I would feel maybe a little bit challenged by it. But now it feels like that's exactly what I need. I only need 20 minutes. So it also helps over time. And even if the timer is maybe not going to be the cap for how long you spend, it's at least a cap to take a break, to get up and get a drink of water, to take a stretch, to do a quick walk in the neighborhood, or even to just do the stop, breathe, and feel.
Yes. And the same thing you said at the beginning, your first suggestion, boundaries. Set boundaries. When you say no to something, you are saying yes to something that is more important.
Yes.
And it is a great opportunity to teach our kids to set boundaries too, because well-being is constructed by boundaries. You need to define it, and then you need to protect it. Sometimes even from yourself, like from our programming on putting everybody before us.
Yes.
Before ourselves.
Very true.
The boundaries part is very, very important. And also remember, you empower people by giving them choices and by sharing your load, by sharing your responsibilities. You're actually inviting people to create value for your family and for your group. Thank you very much, Kearney. And now before we go, I would like to ask you a little bit about your ongoing program. It's called Intentional Parents of Twins and Teens Unite. Yes.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about your program, please, Courtney.
Yes. So this is a really special parenting membership, and it is specifically tailored for parents of tweens and teens. So I roughly say 11 to 19, but it definitely depends on your family and what you're seeing with your child. But the group is really founded on the idea of creating support for parents during this challenging time when teenagers, it is developmentally appropriate for them to be looking to the outside world and looking to their peers for modeling. And they do naturally sometimes start to turn away from family ideals or family models as they're searching for their own identity. But this can be very isolating for parents, and it can also start to feel like, what did I do wrong, or why don't they want to connect with me? And I want parents of children of these ages to know that they're not alone and that connection is possible. And so it's finding that sweet balance between understanding that some of this change is appropriate, age appropriate, but that it also is painful. And then also finding support in the times when that balance starts to be really, really out of sync, and maybe the child is in need of more support from their parents and their families because maybe they're going a little too far away from themselves and from the family. And so this group is all about support. It's all about strategies for having quality conversation and connection with your teenagers. And I'm truly passionate about elevating the voices of teenagers in the world. And to me, that means from an empowered place. And so that's what we focus on in this group. And I love that I get to work with parents who want to grow. They want to be self-reflective. They want to be open to hearing their teenagers' voices, as well as self-care and taking care of their own needs in the process of this challenging developmental time. So the group is an ongoing membership, so you can join at any time. And we have live calls twice monthly, a Facebook community, and weekly emails with tools and resources. And I would love to have parents in your audience join. And I think it's a really exciting time for this group, and an exciting time for parents to grow together.
Yes, it is. You know what? The thing is that there's this thing about the congruency system, and it's not obvious, but it is very important. We need to understand that change happens outside, and transition happens inside. Like when things change, we transition. Things shift inside us. And the congruency system focuses on that, on helping people understanding those transitions and honoring them. And one of the biggest challenges I experience as a parent is that I go through my own transitions, and I see these two human beings that are transitioning as well. So as a parent, my responsibility is to help them and to facilitate their transitions while tending to mine. So that said,
yes,
parents need all the help they can get, especially in key moments such as teenage years.
Yes.
So I truly believe that this program, the program you're offering, Intentional Parents of Twins and Teens Unite, is a beautiful tool. I know your work, and I know you work from a place of honor and peace and just light, because we have chosen to be conscious parents, and that is a big decision, and we deserve all the help we can get. So I will make sure to post the link to your program in the comments and the description of today's holiday special edition of Conversations on Congruency. So Courtney, thank you very, very much. I know this is just the first time of many I will have you here, because I really feel our work goes together, and I hope your audience and my audience enjoy this episode. And if you have any questions, if you're watching this and you have any questions, or you want to contact any of us, you can comment. Please tag us. You can tag Courtney Harris Coaching. You can tag Tanya Gerard Congruency Coaching, or just email me, connect@tanyagerard.com, the link that will show your screen in a moment. And tell me, what question would you like to ask Courtney? Or, you can look up her Facebook page. There are many, many ways to contact us. If you have a question, a suggestion, or if you want to share how these amazing ideas worked for you during these holiday days. I think Hanukkah already passed, but we have still Christmas and New Year's Eve, and we still have a few days of madness going on. So thank you, Courtney, for joining. Thank you for doing this such a short notice.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much, Sonia. I love the work that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And well, happy holidays to everybody.
Yes, happy holidays. Be safe. Have fun.
Bye-bye.
Bye.